Just so you know, you're being recorded. So, all right, share my screen. Okay, welcome to our trainers meeting today. I will be recording this and adding it to our website, and along with links of things that we've talked about in the meeting. So I forgot. Sorry, I somehow got this extra thing on my presentation. I forgot to take it out. There we go. Okay, this is what we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about the USET conference and the USET book club, which is a new feature of USET this year. I think Corey's left because he's just here for secondary with Canvas, but Eric is here to share something with you and to answer your questions about Infinite Campus, and also any problems with rostering student logins and that we may be having problems with. Going to talk about two-factor authentication a little bit, take you on a quick tour of our newly updated DTL website, and then give you a little quick fun AI tip. So
please come to the office.
Okay. First of all, our USET conference is coming up. It's going to be March 19th and 20th. Registration is now open. This year, we're combining with UELMA, which is the librarians group in the state. So we're even bigger and better. We're moving up to the Salt Palace. Like our vendor space alone is like 3 times the size of the vendor space that we've had over at the Utah Valley Convention Center. Plus, we'll have about 150 different presentations and some great keynote speakers coming in. So just go to uset.org, and the registration link will just be right on the front page. Together with the conference, this is a new thing this year, is the USET Book Club. So these are 3 books. All of these authors will be at USET this year, and we'll be doing like a little book meetup with the people that have been doing the book club. So these will be the book club is in a Canvas course, a UEN Canvas course, and you need to select 2 of the books, choose 2 of the books to read. And it's just like a little discussion question on each chapter, and then some kind of application at the end. So there on the front of the USET page again, there is just a link to the book club. It's a Google form. Fill it out and say, these are the ones that I'm interested in. And then when the class starts, which will be December 1st, you'll be given the UEN registration link. This is good for 1 USBE credit if you finish the course. It's self-paced. It's not synchronous at all. You just kind of work through the book at your own pace and respond to any discussion questions that are on there. As a bonus, we have about 20 extra copies of this digital. You probably can't see it the way my screen is set up, but I do have copies of Richard Collada's book, 20 of them extra. So if you let me know, if you sign up for this class and that's one of the books that you selected, I will get you a free copy of the book, just as a little added bonus there. So any questions about that? So even if you're not going to use that, it's kind of a fun way to read some of these these books that are really helpful, and to have some discussions with other educators across the state about them. Okay, Eric has something fun to share with you and is here to answer your question. So I am going to stop sharing so he can share his screen.
Thank you, Pam. So one of the things that I wanted to show you was a feature that's available for all teachers that is not well known. One of the big, huge things that I hear is, well, our team has made this particular one, how can we share it? And there's a number of different ways that you can do that. But one of the ways actually lives inside Infinite Campus. Inside Infinite Campus is what is called a planner. If you go to instruction and you find the planner, It's called the Curriculum Planner. And as you take a look, first it starts off by showing your own curriculum. So I've picked out a secondary teacher, but you can see this with elementary teachers as well. And you can see the various different assignments that you have according to, in this case, a week-long period. And so these are, and you can actually click in to these, you can actually click into these assignments and see what the assignments are and be able to see and make some adjustments and edits of these particular assignments. You can also click on list and it gives a full list of all the assignments, or you can do it by individual terms and things. And so all of this lives inside the planner. You can do it from a day point of view, you can do it from a week point of view, or from a month point of view. While this is your own curriculum, you can also go in and choose other curriculum. Now you have the ability to take a look at other teachers. So for example, I've pulled up, this is my friend. Let's say I want to go in and I want to search for another person at my school, for example, that I'm collaborating with. So I'm going to pick out that, and you can pick a specific course, or you can go in for just a teacher's name that you're looking for at that school. And if you can choose that, do a search, and now you have some of the various different curriculum that he's teaching. So I'm going to add his to my list and click save. And now I have the ability to see some of the various different things. Since this is he teaches an American history through film, I want to collaborate with him. I can now see some of his assignments that exist here. Another way you could do that is if you're in a school that's doing citizenship and you wanted to share the citizenship with the other people in, you can actually pull in their materials and things as shown. You can click on list and be able to see even a list of some of the other different pieces that those particular teachers are involved in. So this is an opportunity that you have to share. If you are absolutely opposed to sharing, you can relax to teachers, and this, if you go into settings, you can actually turn off which sections are visible to other teachers if you have a real hard time or heartburn about being able to share some of the curriculum or people being able to see yours. So those are just a couple, just a nice tool to be able to use for sharing. One of the things that you can do is, these are folders and assignments that you're sharing. You can actually create folders of different resources and put them into Infinite Campus. And then your other teachers that are sharing can also pull those as well as needed. So just a small little tool that I wanted to share with you so that you have the ability, so that just another tool in Infinite Campus that you have the ability to use.
So Eric, when they pull up another teacher's content, is it the assignment that's in there, and can they copy the assignment?
Yes. So you
Okay.
click on that particular assignment and then you could copy it into your own curriculum.
Okay. So it might be good for teachers to be aware of it, just because somebody could be searching for them, even if they're not going to use that functionality, if they want to make sure that other people aren't copying their content.
If that's something that they're concerned,
if that's a problem, yeah.
But for the most part, I don't know as many teachers who are overly concerned, but if they are, then that is one of the things that you can do. For example, if I were to pull in a list of this particular one and say, oh, there's this get to know you bingo assignment here, I'm going to add it to my particular section. And you just basically say, okay, I want to take a look at a particular section that I want to add it to, click OK, and then save the changes. At this point, there's no sections that I have that are available that match those, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
In this particular case. But yes, you can add it to your own sections as you work your way through. Oh, that's why, because I don't have it selected up here. So you would select a variety of different ones, and then you'd say, okay, I want to be able to add that particular piece that I saw there to one of these sections. Then I could be able to add it into the sections.
Any other questions for Eric? Any questions about student accounts or Clever, or student issues with student logins at your schools?
And if
I
you
have
don't
a
have any, as always, feel free to email me.
Well,
So-
I'll email you. I have a question.
Well, all right, we'll move. I'll share my screen again and we'll move on to the next slide here. So we're going to talk about two-factor authentication a little bit. How many of you have been involved at your school, helping with that or helping support that? Anybody want to, or met any resistance with that or have questions about it?
Looks like Kylie has.
Okay, Kylie, what's been your experience?
So basically, there's a lot of people that have said that they thought that they had it done, but somehow it got turned off or something. So we just went back in and made sure that they had the process all the way done. So I just helped them through it.
That's great. And that's
Whatever it
what
was.
that's what your role is just to support that people need help. You're not the enforcer,
Mhm.
right? You're not the one that has to check off the list to make sure everyone has it done. That should probably go, your principal would be that person to do that. And I think they'll being communicated with, but you're just there and you could talk with your principal and say, hey, I'm available if anybody needs help, or they may ask you to help people, but just don't make sure that you're not in the enforcer position. But if people have questions, just a few things, just using a password, especially a password that has been used in multiple locations over a period of time, is not very secure at all. And school districts are kind of a target for hackers. And Eric could share this. We shared it in our other meeting. The district actually had somebody come in to see how secure our system was. And within 45 minutes, they'd hacked into our whole system. So it not only
I can add
protects.
something that would be a little fun. Do you realize that there's a whole lot of passwords in the district that are Tiger123?
Wow.
That is the most common password in our entire district.
So which mascot is a tiger? We'll know it's so I mean, we could go, one route is to teach everybody to how to make a secure password and to change it every 3 months, but that's a heavier lift than just setting up that two-factor authentication. So not only does it protect the accounts and privacy of the individual person, it also protects our system itself, our domain itself. So what happens if teachers don't comply it or employees don't comply? That for now, we'll just say that it's strongly encouraged. And that could change over time if they don't get compliance all the way. There could be something else, but that email will just keep going out. And they are tracking who's done it or not. Like I said, it's not only for that individual safety, but for the safety of our whole NEBO domain, for the security, I say, of the whole domain. So another point is that people, if you get an email and it's from someone at nebo.edu, it's kind of a trusted domain. So you trust the source. So if people are hacking into our system and using, kind of pirating that nebo.edu domain, then that can cause problems. For instance, sometimes an email will go out and they'll say it's from a principal at a school because they've got that email address asking for a gift card or to help somebody. But then that doesn't go back to the principal. It's going to that third-party hacker. So that's a real example of something that's happened in our district. So your probably role is just to educate when people have problems, support them, helping them like you to set up if they need help. And then if they have questions, to kind of give them some background. So this will be an ongoing effort. So we don't know, Eric or I don't know right now what our percent of compliance is, but Don, what I talked to him a couple of days ago, and he says he'll just keep going at it till we get there. So they'll be bugged and bugged. There was a suggestion in our meeting with our secondary teachers that maybe we could devise a personalized email to go out to people that haven't complied, that maybe they'll feel a little more compelled to do that or personally invited to do it instead of like a generic email going out. So anyway, any other questions about that?
Pam, our list mostly that came from Dawn. was
Yes,
mostly Trust land techs or, not full-time employees.
but they
So-
still need to set it up because they have our domain.
Well, I know, but we've just been told in faculty meetings, so I'm just wondering if they're not being told because they're
Oh,
not.
I see what you're saying. So sending out a specific email to them would be helpful
I
in
think
that
so.
case. Okay. Have you
That's-
seen the email that's gone out? Is it explanatory enough? I mean, is it clear enough, the directions? Do we need to take a look at those, what's being sent out?
What Dawn sent? I think it's pretty clear what's.
Okay,
I
I'm just I'm not saying it's not, I'm just trying to get feedback on that, so.
think it's clear.
Okay, that's a good suggestion, a good point, Carolyn. Like they're not there, right? They're there at night, they're a night sweeper or something like that, or they're a lunch worker and you may not see them as often, or they're busy when they're here. Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good point. We'll follow up on that. Okay, we have revised or updated our EdTech website. We're trying to be consistent in our branding. So now we're the digital teaching and learning website because that's kind of describes what we do. And we also have an Instagram account if you want to follow us on Instagram. And that's just Nebo DTL. There's bit.ly, Nebo DTL at the bottom of the screen. That's the bit.ly for our website here. And let me show you 3 places on the Nebo website that you can access this, and then we'll just take a little tour of it. So of course we would like it to be like on the front of the website, but there's a lot of people that want to be on the front of the website. So we didn't get that spot, but I'll show you 3 places where you can find our website. There's 2 places under departments. We fall under curriculum and we fall under tech services because we're kind of technology curriculum. So if you go to curriculum, there's a card here for each of the curriculum areas. We're down at the bottom. So right here, there's a link to our site. And I don't know what the rhyme or reason to that order. The other department we're in, like I mentioned, is technical services. So if you go there, there is the link to our site too, and that's been updated. The third place you can find it is on the employee homepage. Just go to the employee homepage. There is a technology section right here, and it's the second one down, digital teaching and learning website. So those are 3 places, and let me actually go to the website and just kind of show you around. We've tried to simplify it. So in the past, we had kind of these tools A to Z, and these were all of the tools that we put out there. Like we found a new tool, let's put the resources on there. We can't keep it current. Tools, we get new tools and they change so much that it's just difficult. So what we've done, and we followed kind of what other districts are doing, we've just identified what our core tools are right now. And these would be our 9 core tools. So we are committed to keeping those updated as much as we can. So actually, I don't know why Google isn't on there. That probably should be one of our core tools. So I'll have a discussion about that with our team to have Google Helps on there. So those are our core tools. The next section, so that's the core tool section. The next section is device support. So this is where we have information about Chromebooks, how to troubleshoot them, how to, work with the Chrome browser, those type of things, how to use Chromebooks with your students. iPads, how to get them set up with the district, how to add just all the things, and where to email when you need help about iPads. Those of you who have ClearTouch boards, here's all the ClearTouch resources. If anyone got a MacBook this year, here's some things about with MacBooks. Also, this is linked to technical services, how to access the wireless network on non-district devices. Also, how to send sites to the web filter that are blocked for students. We talked about Learn Platform before, and then how to reset passwords. The last section is our teaching with tech section, sorry. So that's where we would put things like digital citizenship, AI, managing technology in the classroom, our blended literacy and math resources, accessibility, UDL, those types of things. We're just building out the AI site. I think they're planning on getting that done by Friday. So after Thanksgiving, I think you'll see more content there, and we'll continue to talk about AI. So those are our main 3 sections there. We've tried to simplify it. So those things are easy to find. These are the links up here are, whoops, let me just go. The links up here are the same links as these navigation links are the same as this scrolling links here. Any questions about that? So you could, familiarize yourself with it. And then if a teacher asks you questions about any of these things, instead of just giving the answer, you might refer them to the website and make sure they know how to find it. And then they'll be able to find access other resources there. And we're always open for suggestions if there's other things that you think need to be on there, that questions you're being asked a lot, or ways that most teachers need to be supported with technology in the classroom. Okay. Going back to our slideshow. Again, this is the URL, and then I showed you 3 places on the NEBO site, and you can always bookmark it. Okay, a little tip of the day I came across last week was using YouTube and quizzes together. We call this app smashing, when you use 2 different apps and you put them together to make something. So let's go out to quizzes. I always want to put 2 Z's in it, but it's QUIZZ.com. And they just added this new function that you can put a YouTube URL in here and upload that YouTube link, and it will create a quiz for you from that YouTube video, from the content of the video. Now I'll show you how that works really quick. Let's see if we can find a quick, I should have had one ready for you, sorry. You go to YouTube here, okay.
What keeps people who are about to retire up at night? The thought of having to unretire.
Big Jam for Schools. Okay, so let's take this. We'll go and we'll get the URL.
Email address and the link.
Now I'm in quizzes. I'm just going to click this button, upload link, put in the URL of the YouTube video. Then I can, they can decide how many questions, or you can say how many questions you want. Let's say I want 8 questions. Then you just click generate questions. It takes a minute. So I know you can do this in ChatGPT, or you can do it with some of the other bots, AI bots. But what I like about this is that it creates your quiz right in quizzes, so it's ready to go. You don't have to copy and paste those quizzes anywhere else. So there you go. It's made a quiz on that video. What is Fig Jam? What's one benefit of using it in the classroom? Blah, blah, blah. So it's got all of your questions. You can go in here. You can modify the quiz. Remember, AI is great for giving you a start on things, but you can always go edit it and add your own content. You could translate it. You can convert it to a real world scenario. You can reduce your options. Like that would be the number of answers. I don't know if you haven't used quizzes before, you can say how many seconds there are before they go to the next. So it's not like Kahoot where the teacher is controlling the pace of the questions. It's the student works their way through each slide, and when they answer one, they can go to the next one. You can set it up as self-paced. Anyway, you can change the point value. You can create a new question. You can add a theme. You can add student names. You can make the questions fun. There's ways that you could keep giving some AI prompts. So just thought that would be, excuse me, fun to share. You might want to try it with your students and then share it out with your teachers if it's something that works for you. Okay, any other questions or concerns?
How do you import that? Is there like a place for the link so you can import it in your classroom or on your digital centers?
So yeah, so once you've created that, once you've created that, then you're going to, so here's my quiz. So here's the name of the quiz. And I could add a cover image. Now I'm going to save it and then put an image on there. So now that I have that, I'm going to publish it. Maybe I don't. Let me, I haven't been in here for a minute. So this is showing it. That was a good question. I thought there was an option here that you could assign it directly to Google Classroom.
Even if I can just like copy a link or something.
Yeah,
That's
you can put a link in there, but I'm trying to see that I've got this. Let me just go to my quizzes board. So here's all of my, you know what? I've done my own quiz and created it. I don't see where that's showing up right here. So let me finish this up. I'll make a little screencast of how you go from creating that from the YouTube to giving it to your students. And I'll add that to the email that I sent out. Because you
click
know
on
how
my
it
library?
is trying to do it in the moment, unless somebody has a suggestion here.
Click on my library.
Oh, there we go. It looks like I have new storage. So
And then you have share.
but can you find the one that I just did?
I don't know, is that saved because it said you had to free up space to be able to do it.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So it looks like Quizzes has put some limitations on the free account. So
But the way you would do it is on the, for example, the third grade multiplication one that you just had, there's
Right.
a share.
I might archive that, or I might just delete that. Again, I'm not going to take your time here to do it. I'll run through this and I'll send you out a video. I think I haven't run across that limitation before, but that's why it didn't create it for me. Because I played around with Quizzes for quite a while. So let me look into that. And
Looks
I'll
like
get back with you.
the limitation is 20 quizzes.
There's 20 quizzes. I'm wondering I wonder if my draft is still here. There it is. Continue editing. Well, let me publish it now. Oh, there we go. Because
Because
there
you
we go.
removed one.
Now it's ready to go. There we go. So then I would go here and I would start, I can do it independent practice. If I do that, I can assign to students and it gives me a link. So right there it is, Google Classroom. So I can just open up a Google Classroom and it will give them that link, or I can just copy that link and put it somewhere else. I can put it in Clever. So that's what's happening right there. That makes sense.
perfect. Thank you.
I had reached my limit. Does that answer your question? So it just wasn't showing up in my library. All right, it's 4 o'clock. Does anybody else have any questions? Please know that you can reach out to me or Eric anytime.
I have one more.
Yes.
Where do we find a list of all like what I had one, I was given one at the beginning of the year, but I somehow have lost it. A list of like who is in charge of which programs. Like who's in charge of iReady or Mastery Connect.
I think we put that on our website. So let's look at it. That's just the specialist. There. I'll find that for you. I thought it was on here somewhere. Obviously, it's not easy to find.
Is it under support contacts?
Oh, there we go. I didn't see that. Eric, I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm all over the place. There you go. Is that what you
Yeah.
were?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's support contacts on the website. So,
Great, thank you.
all right, thanks for asking. I'm gonna put that I'll put that I'm gonna put that link in chat if anybody needs that direct link. So let me copy that and I'll put that in our chat. So I just added that link right there. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. And sorry if I confused you with that quizzes, but see, I told you Eric can solve every problem. So that's the person you need to call when you have a problem. All right.
One more
Thanks for
question.
coming.
Don't have to
Thank you all.
Okay. Bye-bye.
One more question, Pam.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So in a Google Drive, when share a drive and
A
then
shared drive.
and everybody has access to be contributors, everybody has access.
Okay.
How come sometimes some files aren't, you have to ask for permission still in a shared drive?
Sometimes you have to have permission if you're sharing it back out, but you shouldn't have to ask permission to view it. Have you run into that problem?
Yeah, so yeah, because I'm new in 5th grade this year. And so my team has shared their drive, but I don't have access to a lot of them because I just got put on the drive. Is there a button or something that we can push to give me full access so they don't have to share everything with me?
So
They
the-
shouldn't. Is it a shared folder or a shared drive?
Shared drive. It's
So what
really,
happens is you can share the drive. So you have access in the shared drive and then you're able to see all the things in the drive. But each of the individual documents inside the drive have their own sharing permissions. And so those typically are not overruled when they share the drive. The sharing permissions of each of the individual things stay in place, which is the reason why you have to ask for specific access. Now, if you go into the folder inside the shared drive and say, share this folder with you and give you editing or viewing permissions, now all of a sudden, all the files inside that folder will also have the permissions that you'll be able to see them.
okay, that would save a lot of time.
Like do it by folder. I was surprised at that though, Eric. I thought that if somebody moved a document or a file they owned into a shared drive, that the drive became the owner.
No, it depends.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I've seen it both ways, where when you move the
Okay.
file over, it says, okay, you are going to you're moving this to a folder that already has permissions. Do you want to give those permissions? So I've
Okay.
seen it inside the folder, but the drive is more for viewing purposes and not all the files inside the folder. The permissions
gets
don't get
moved over.
attached to that.
Yeah. So that would save time, Carolyn, if you did those permissions by folder and not by file.
Okay, we'll try
Have them
that.
go through and do that. So,
Thank you. I knew
all
there's
right.
another way to do it.
All right. Well,
Thank
have a great break, everybody.
Have fun decorating cookies.